Nearly 24 South Dakota Democrats will leave this weekend for their national convention in Chicago.
They're expecting a lot of excitement on the convention floor as delegates pledge their support for the new ticket of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
KELOLAND's Perry Groten caught up with some of the delegates who say they're feeling re-energized about prospects of success in the November election.
Erin Royer wears her party loyalty on her wrist.
I've got one that says Kamala on it.
Friendship bracelets are just part of the fashions that will be showcased by South Dakota delegates at the Democratic National Convention.
We've got lots of plans for trading pins and friendship bracelets, and we've got a day that we're all going to wear white for women's suffrage, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be wearing Converse sneakers because that's one of Vice President Harris's sort of signature looks.
Royer and other delegates heading to Chicago say Kamala Harris's history-making campaign has brought a renewed energy to their party and their upcoming convention.
It not only speaks to the growth of her, but it speaks to the growth of black people around our country. And also it speaks to the strength of black women in our country as the highest educated group of people in our country right now.
South Dakota delegates also feel a geographic connection to Harris's running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
What is it, 30 miles to the border to Minnesota from here? And he grew up in small town Nebraska. He taught there. Then he moved to Mankato, which is, 2.5 hours away from Sioux Falls.
South Dakota Democrats say the convention will be a time to network with delegates from other states and build unity around the Harris-Walz ticket. They plan to return home with a renewed commitment to grow their party and turn the political tide in a state that's long been dominated by Republicans.
Going to be a little more exciting and a lot more uplifting than I thought it was going to be a month ago.
Just to see the black excellence rise to the top as it should is going to be a moment of emotion for me.
Perry Groten, KELOLAND News.
The Democrats' last convention in 2020 was held virtually because of COVID. Duba says meeting in person will only add to the delegates' excitement in Chicago next week. We did a similar story on South Dakota Republicans when they headed to Milwaukee for their convention. We've linked it to this story on KELOLAND.com.